So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so the time has finally come. The 2024 NFL season week 1 starts tomorrow. And for the Chicago Bears, they open up their season at home against the Tennessee Titans, and you guys know what that means. It means it's time for another full season of our 3 keys to the game. As usual, I'm going to give my 3 keys to the game that I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. I will give my final score prediction at the end of the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get straight into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears' first Bears official season, regular season, video of the season. I said season 3 times. It's the first video of the Bears' new season, and they're opening up at home against the Tennessee Titans. And I'm excited, man. It's been a minute. I miss making these videos for you guys. And this should add a little bit more consistency to this channel. And it's going to be an exciting game on Sunday. The Bears open up at home. So much excitement is in the air. So many expectations for this Bears team going into the 2024 NFL season. I'm excited. I'm not going to keep yapping. Let's get straight into the 3 keys of the game. Number 1, we got to get pressure on the young quarterback, Will Levis. I'm sorry, young man, but you're going to have to take this beating for us. Will Levis, the second-year guy out of Kentucky. It's clear the Titans are giving him a chance to show what he got. You know, limited playing time last year due to injury. Some ineffectiveness kind of cost him a little bit. But it's clear that Will Levis was the future of that team, at least for now. They stuck with him this year. They could have easily traded up with that pick that they had, and took in another quarterback. But they didn't. They're sticking with Will Levis. They picked J.C. Latham in the first round. Instead of just, seeing if they could trade up and take another quarterback or take a quarterback that was there, they decided to stick with Will Levis, and they decided to give him some talent to work with on that new Tennessee Titans offense. And in Will Levis's defense, that Tennessee Titans offense was kind of barren last year, especially with guys having injuries and stuff like that. So they went out, they got Tony, even though they lost Derrick Henry, that's a big loss always. But they went out, got Tony Pollard. They signed Tyler Boyd, good slot receiver. They was able to get Calvin Ridley. I would say is their new number 1 wide receiver. They still have Treylon Burks. They still got D-Hop, even though he's a little bit older. And they went out and signed Lloyd Cushenberry III, if he wasn't already there. I think they signed him, though, in the offseason. And then they also drafted J.C. Latham for that offense. So, the Bears do not want to be the team for Will Levis to just pound on them and just throw the ball over the field. So, a quick way to avoid that, we even have questions on that defensive line as well. We know Montez Sweat, even though he was limited in practice today, he should be ready to play on Sunday, and we know he's going to be able to get pressure on this offensive line. They have some young guys on that line that may not be able to hold him. The only problem is the Bears are going to have to find out where else are they going to generate pressure on that defensive line. We know Gavon Dexter, he says he's taking a step up, that he's shown flashes in the preseason, but now it's the regular season. We need to see more. Is DeMarcus Walker going to get that pressure? I don't know. This is his former team. He might want to make a showing against his former team. Does Austin Booker get a chance to play? We need to generate pressure early, as last year, early in the year, we did not do a great job of that, and it showed. Opposing teams' quarterbacks just had all the time in the world. Once Montez Sweat came, though, that kind of changed. So I'm expecting the Bears to at least get 2 sacks. For a guy that's taken 28 sacks in Will Levis last year, there should be no qualms, especially for a guy like Sweat or Walker to get pressure, and maybe Booker if he gets up in there. But I would say, always the first key, get the young quarterback rattled, make him make some very bad decisions. That will open up some plays for some turnovers, and, it just makes him uncomfortable. And, I would say the expectation for me is for the Bears defensive line. Of course, blitzes are always an option as well. I would say the Bears need to at least get 2 sacks in this game. So get pressure on the young man early, and make his life and make his job very uncomfortable for him. Point number 2, another defensive key. I would say the Bears secondary really needs to come into play. Now, with the pass rush getting there, my pass rush point, the pass rush is only as good as the secondary. We have a pretty good secondary going into this season. You know, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, the former Titan. We got guys coming off the bench like Terrell Smith, Greg Stroman Jr., Josh Blackwell, and others. You know, this is a pretty good secondary, but the Titans also revamped their receiving core as well. You know, Tyler Boyd, great slot receiver, was a number 3 in Cincinnati for a multitude of good number 3 in a multitude of years for Cincinnati. Playing with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. So that's a pretty good signing for them. He is older. He is 29 years old, so he's a little bit older. He's in the prime of his career, though. Calvin Ridley, they went out, who I honestly think is the best receiver on their team right now. He's going to be their number 1. I'm pretty sure Jalen Johnson is going to want to guard him. Again, a little bit older, but he has had a full season of work coming off his suspension. You know, he's had a full training camp, so you know he's going to be ready to play week 1. Always like Calvin Ridley as a receiver. You know, they still got the young guy, Treylon Burks. If he can stay healthy, he's that type of burner receiver. But it's just his health, man. He could be a really good receiver, but it's just his health. And then you got DeAndre Hopkins still there. D-Hop, the old man, still got game. And he's still D-Hop. And, you know, even though that receiving core Mace is a little bit older, they can still play, and the secondary has to be ready. You know, you don't want to go into this game underestimating that offense. You still got Tony Pollard back there too, who can occasionally catch a pass. So, you know, you don't want to underestimate that Titans offense. And the Bears defense, it's shown throughout the preseason that they were pretty good, but now you're going to starter against starter, whose starters are better. I feel like the Bears can take advantage of the age of that receiving core, especially guys like D-Hop and Ridley, who, while they're in the prime of their career, they're going to slowly start declining at some point as well. We have a young secondary that's ready to pounce on the ball. You know, maybe a guy comes off his break late. Maybe if you're able to press a guy on the line and keep him there, you know, that create those opportunities for turnovers. And, you know, that's what Matt Eberflus preaches on this team. I feel like the Bears should be able to get at least 1 interception, and with an inexperienced quarterback back there, who we really don't know what he is at this point in his career, there will be opportunities for the secondary to make plays. They just have to make them when they come. And, you know, turnovers always help a young offense, a young revamped offense like the Chicago Bears. So, you know, I would say there's opportunities there for the secondary and, of course, the linebackers as well to force turnovers. But they got to be ready to play. These guys are still really good receivers. I feel like the Titans have the 3rd best receiving core in the AFC South, and that's a pretty good division for receivers, especially. But, you know, the secondary for the Bears, they got to come to play. They got to be ready. They can't underestimate this group, as if they do, they're going to get picked apart. So I feel like the secondary should be able to create opportunities to get turnovers, and if they do that, they have a pretty good chance of winning this game. Point number 3, I feel like Caleb Williams got to get going early. We got to get him comfortable. Now, historically, number 1 overall picks usually lose their first start of their career. I thought I saw a graphic on Twitter that says number 1 picks are 0-14 in their first starts on week 1. Now, you know, this is a revamp offense for the Chicago Bears. We went out and got Keenan Allen. We still got DJ Moore, who is now re-signed. You know, we got Rome Odunze. We drafted Rome Odunze. We still got Cole Kmet. We got Gerald Everett. We got DeAndre Swift. Still got Khalil Herbert. You know, we patched some holes in the offensive line, but mainly we've been letting guys develop. We have a mid-tier offensive line. We got talent on this offense, is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, we do have some young players, and unfortunately, the quarterback is one of those young players, a rookie, and there might be some jitters playing at home for real, because this is not the preseason, this is not, you know, training camp. You're going against the starting defense for the Tennessee Titans, and they got some pretty good pieces on that defense. Jeffrey Simmons, their pass rusher, he's pretty good. Harold Landry, still pretty good as a linebacker and pass rusher. They revamped their secondary. They went out and got Chidobe Awuzie. They still have Roger McCreary, who's a young corner. They went out and got Quandre Diggs. They went out and got Jamal Adams. They poached L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs, which I didn't see coming. So this is pretty good secondary and defensive line for the Tennessee Titans. I feel like their linebacking core is a little lacking. I know they went out and got Ernest Jones, but I feel like the linebacking core is a little lacking for them. Also, some of the age and the pass coverage skills on the players on that secondary can be a little bit questionable. Jamal Adams has never really been known for his pass coverage. Neither has Quandre Diggs recently in his later stages of his career. But L'Jarius Sneed and Chidobe Awuzie have been some of the best corners in football for the past year or so, for the past 2 years or so. And, getting Caleb Williams going early, those jitters are going to be real. They're going to be real, especially playing at home with hundreds of fans watching you. It's going to be nerve-wracking, and, I feel like the play calling needs to put him in a situation where he's going to get comfortable. Give him a few short dump-off throws. Get that run game established early. Protect your young quarterback, as those guys in Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry are no joke when it comes to pass rushing, especially Jeffrey Simmons. And he's going to be playing hard. He's had some banter with Williams, or he said some things about Williams that it can be considered banter, but he's been looking forward to this game. So I put a nice little X mark on him to watch out for him. But getting your young quarterback going early in these starts, he has the weapons. They have the personnel to run their scheme. It's just a matter of play calling and him being ready for the big moment. I have no doubts that he'll be ready, but it always helps to get your quarterback, especially a young quarterback like Caleb Williams, in his first professional start in the regular season, at home with thousands of fans watching you. It always helps to get him in that rhythm early. Then you can start, when you might finish a drive with a field goal. Then once he's comfortable, you can start taking those shots downfield, start giving him a little bit more on his plate. And, you'll start ending those drives with touchdowns and points and all that stuff. So, getting Caleb Williams going early, you do not want him going in rattled. You don't want him to get hit either, or get sacked too many times either, as that tends to be a thing for the Chicago Bears opening up the season. And you don't want to start the season with a dud anyway, especially on offense. I feel like our defense will have things on lock, but it's just the offense, man. We got to see more of the offense. For all that talent, they did struggle at times in the preseason, and those were against backups at times. Now it's the regular season. You're going against a full-time starting defense with some good pieces. But I do think if they get their quarterback in a rhythm early and they're able to establish a run game, get the short throws ready, go to Keenan Allen early, that's your safety blanket right there. I feel like they'll have no problem in this game. But get your quarterback going early, and they should have no problem. Ultimately, I have the Bears winning. Yeah, I'm kind of biased, but I think the Bears are just a better team than the Tennessee Titans. They have more talent. We have more talent on our team. We revamped our offense. We added some good pieces on defense, and some of our pieces have developed on this team as well. I had the Bears winning 27-17. Ultimately, I don't know if Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans are going to be a match for this defense, as this defense did look pretty good during the preseason. Granted, it is preseason, but with the inexperience of Will Levis, we really don't know what he is. That secondary is primed to make a big leap. There's guys on that defensive line that are primed to make a big leap as well. And I don't know if the Tennessee Titans are going to be able to put up points like they want to in this game. And it's going to be at Soldier Field, so the crowd is going to be loud and rocking. I don't know if the Tennessee Titans, and I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball like that either. Our linebacking core is really, really good. Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards will be ready to lock up. You still got Billings, and you still got Sanborn, who can come in dime packages. Kyler Gordon plays the run well. Jaquan Brisker plays the run well. So with the loss of Derrick Henry, I don't know if they're going to be able to efficiently run the ball against our defense. As far as our offense going into this game, I feel like the Bears should be able to exploit that linebacking core early, get some throws going over the middle of the field, and on top of that, with the safety thing that the Titans got going on, they're not really great pass coverage guys. They can do it. I'm not knocking them. They have former All-Pros on there, but with the age of Quandre Diggs and the season he had last year, and then Jamal Adams, he didn't practice at all today, so we don't know if he's going to be ready. But even if he is, he's not all that great of a pass defender himself. I feel like the Bears should be able to move the ball with all this offensive firepower that they have. They still have DJ Moore, you have Rome Odunze, you have Keenan Allen. They got good tight ends, you got a good running back. I feel like they should be able to move the ball and get points and finish in the red zone when they get down there. So, 27-17 seems like a realistic score for me. I got the Bears winning in this game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Who do you guys have winning and why? I'll gladly read them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears prediction videos. Make sure you guys follow me on social media for last minute updates going into this week 1 matchup. NFL season is finally here. I'm excited. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. As always, bear down, and I'm out. Peace.